We are so excited to carry on with this build of our raised beds.
Say hello!
Say hello.
Hi!
Oh,
yes, you're busy, yes.
On the last episode, we managed to get our front raised bed done. We are going to continue with our 4 lower raised beds and get them filled in. We just want to say thank you guys so much for all your wonderful comments from the last video.
Yeah, that was really nice.
We had an amazing anniversary, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let me show you what the plan is and what we're going to do for the lower beds. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 4 lower raised beds in the greenhouse. We're going to make them 120 by 220 and about 50 centimeters high. We have got all the wood burnt and scraped off. If you haven't seen the last episode, we're doing our raised beds in the Japanese style of shou. Come here.
Did you play me?
Come. So we're going to do all our raised beds in the Japanese style shou with a linseed oil cover. That's going to help it waterproof. That's going to help it waterproof here in the greenhouse. So what we're going to start to do is I'm going to measure up all the wood and cut all the pieces to size. Once we have all the sides cut, then we're going to start to assemble it and put it all together. All the components for the raised bed are coming tomorrow, and I promised you I will show you some tips and tricks on how we will do that, and we'll go through that tomorrow when we start putting everything in.
Yes.
So let's crack on.
Yes, yes. The plenty can't wait.
All the wood is cut. I have been burning the ends off and scraping them down before we can start assembling the sides of the box.
Zola is oiling.
Zula's doing all the oiling. And if you're new, you can see the major difference between the unoiled wood and the oiled wood. Okay, what we have got here is we have a 10 centimeter by 5 centimeter, 2 pieces. We also have 2 5 by 5s, which we're going to put on the end, and the 2 pieces are going to go in between like this. So this is pretty much how we're going to build one side of the wall, 220 centimeter, and we're going to have 120 centimeters on the side, which we're going to build the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to screw this all together, make screw holes, screw it in, and then we have this corrugated metal, the same metal we used for the front raised bed. We're going to put this on top and then screw it in. So we're going to make all the longer sides, all the shorter sides, and then we're going to screw the box together. So that is the plan. What am I doing? Daddy's making smaller boxes, like a big box, but smaller boxes. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yes, I will do it like that, okay? Don't worry. Thank you for checking up on me. Make sure I do it the right way.
Exactly. Sit there. Is mommy doing right? Yeah?
I have finished off the 4 pieces of the first box. I'm going to make all the other sides as well, so that we can just assemble everything at one time, get it into position, and then we can start to fill up these boxes. So I'm going to continue doing all the sides, and I will come back to you a bit later and we will put this first box together. So see you then. First box.
Nice.
So pretty much we have one of the boxes assembled. It was really easy. Just put the 4 pieces together. We used 80 centimeter self-tapping screws to hold it together. And because this is Siberian lurch, it is really strong. We were debating if we were going to have metal bracing, because we're going to fill up the dirt, but it's only 50 centimeters high, so it's not a huge amount of pressure. But even with that, it's quite a lot. It's strong enough. But the only thing we're going to do is we have this, which is like roofing tape, where it is waterproof, sticky on the one side. We're just going to stick it, since there is a bit of a gap here between the 2 pieces of metal, so moisture can get through to the wood and that can rot out the wood. So basically we're just going to tape that into the corners, and that's just going to make it waterproof so the water doesn't get to the wood. We're going to do the same on the front raised beds as well, to cover all the gaps. So that's what we're going to do. So we need to build up all of these, get them into place. Tomorrow we can start to mix all the components, and we can go through that, how exactly we're going to fill these raised beds. Very exciting. All right, baby.
Yes.
Let's make some boxes.
Yay. Single bed.
Single beds. Finally, we got our 4 lower raised beds completed. It took a little bit more time than we expected, but anyway, they are done. We are going to place them pretty much like this. Then we have a little bit more space on this side. We're going to do something a little bit later, and on that side as well, depending on the light. So we're going to have some afternoon stuff on that side. We're going to have some things that need morning sun a bit on this side, and we have space for pots and working at the back.
Yes.
Great. What we need to do now is we need to put on this waterproofing tape on all the boxes, and then we need to start filling everything up. We're going to move these out the way so that we can fill up the front box first, and then we'll put these into place, level them up, and then fill these ones afterwards. Let's get this tape on, and then I can take you outside. Pretty much everything that we need, all the components are here to fill up the boxes, and we will start that today and probably all day tomorrow, since it's a big job. But we have some friends and family coming tomorrow to give us a hand. So all the taping is now done. So we have taping all the areas where they have gaps. So that's going to protect the wood so it doesn't rot out as fast. So that's all done. Let's head outside and I can show you all the components so we can start to fill this bed. For the last 2 days, we have been inside this very warm greenhouse, just wearing a t-shirt. And the reason we have a nice winter greenhouse is to keep warm. Come out and look at this.
Ta-da! Surprise!
It's 20 plus in the greenhouse, but it's 0 degrees and snowing outside.
Wow!
These are all the components that we are going to use for filling up the raised beds. We're going to start on the other side of the homestead. We have some gravel. We're going to use that gravel on the base of the raised beds. Then we have, once we have the gravel, we have some bark that we picked up really cheap. If you go to a lumber mill, you can normally get a whole bunch of it that they can't sell, they can't use, and you can get it really good price.
You can use
You can
for
use,
make
you
a
could
fire.
use it for firewood. It's going to break down over time. So that's going to be the second layer. Then we have some topsoil. We've been going through it. It's nice and fresh. It's got lots of worms in it. So then we're going to have some topsoil, and then we're going to make on the other side as well, in bags, we have wood shavings. We're going to mix the wood shavings in with the leftover wood. We're going to see what grass and old pieces of wood and wood sticks we can find, but in Mongolia there's not so much of that. Then once we have that layer put in, then we're going to do for the top 30 centimeters a nice layer. We have different mixes of compost. This is
Bots.
This is a horse compost that we picked up at the beginning of the summer. If you didn't see that video, we went and we got this for absolutely free. We just had to
Pay the delivery.
pay the delivery and transport it here. Then we got some of this organic chicken compost, which has also got some organic material mix in it. Then over here we have some peat moss, different bags of peat moss and perlite to make it softer. So we're going to start to fill up, and then we'll make like a mix of everything for the top layer. So that's what our job is.
Yes.
And
My
it's going
hand
to be
is cold, lovey.
It's going to be hard working out here, but we've got to get all this stuff from out here into the greenhouse so we can fill up our growing beds and be warm inside. All right, now we have space. So we start with gravel, about 10 centimeters of gravel, and then after that we can put in all the wood chips and put in the bark and whatever wood and grass and things that we want to find. We pressure it down, and then we do topsoil to the last 30 centimeters, and then we do a nice mix and we fill it up. I was dreading this. This is the hard job.
No, every time it's like, that's the hard job. That's the hard job.
This is going to be the hard job. But this is the fun part. What's it?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, then.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. These are all stones that we took out of the compost that we got for free and from our garden. Put it to good use.
Yeah.
We decided to try the window to get the stones in. So what we're doing is we're putting down about 2 inches of gravel. It's mixed with a bit of compost because this is the stones we got out of the compost. So we're putting this down. We're going to flatten it all. And it's important to, when you do each layer, to really press it down so you don't lose too much later. We're getting there. We'll go with wood shavings, and then after that we'll put bark on top. It's important to do layers because if you just mix everything together, this will turn into a big compost pile and that would heat up too much and burn the plants. So that's why we're doing it in layers. Getting there. So now it's the bark, and then we can start putting some topsoil inside. Also, I have some compost that we made ourselves, which has so many worms in it. I want to get them in here so they can start processing all of this. It's going to be nice. So we got all the organic layer done with the stones, the bark, the wood chips, some vegetables and stuff that we had left over, some compost that we made ourselves with lots of worms in. So now it's getting dark, so at least the first layer is done, and tomorrow we can start on the other stuff. We're going to call it quits for today and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Good night, guys. We have lots of friends and family here, so we're going to start with the mix. We've got all the topsoil in. So for the blending, we're going to use this, which is peat moss. We're going to break down the peat moss, and we're going to add some perlite, and we're going to add some compost. We also have some horse compost outside. We're going to bring that in, add a little bit of topsoil. We're going to do an even mixture of the peat moss, compost, and perlite. We're going to mix it inside because it's -2 outside. Everybody's cold. We're going to mix it up, fill up the bed in the front, and once we've done that, we can start filling up the bed in the back.
What's the problem, Ash?
Sorry?
What's the problem?
No, the chicken compost that we got, it's a bit frozen because it's cold outside. It's a big job, but everybody pulled together and we got the front raised bed filled, which is great. But while we got them here, we're going to start on the lower raised beds. See how many we can get done today.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well done. You're working the night.
Yeah, we got a light this time.
Yeah, at least something. I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna cut you.
His footprints everywhere. Get in there.
Ooh, how's it going?
Good. Get in there.
Looks really beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice once you water it all down. It looks like a greenhouse.
Yes. Timo Flemmy.
You know we're gonna have a really good time. Driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car. Leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city.
So we finally got this project done. We just want to say thank you so much. We love you guys to bits.
Yeah.
And we will see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.